Hello, everyone. My name is Nikki, and I am your host of the Canadian Bombshell Beauties Coffee Klatch podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. This week's episode, we will be talking with the Canadian contestants of the Miss Home Sweet Home 2021 online pinup contest. Hey, hello, and thank you so much for joining us this week. We've got Goldie Delight, founder of the West Coast Pinups and international published pinup. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well in these crazy, crazy times, eh? And you're
Yeah,
still
it is a crazy
smiling.
time. Yeah, I'm known for my smile. I actually won a pinup pageant with the answer, my smile.
Nice. Lovely, lovely. So speaking of pinup pageants and pinup, what kind of got you started? What was the journey of Goldie Delight?
Yeah, okay, so I started pinup, I guess officially in 2012. I was sort of dabbling just before that. I had just had a baby. I think he was about 3 years old at that point. Sort of like new mom syndrome, lost who I was feeling kind of like, didn't know where my place was in the world anymore. And I had a girlfriend, her name is Siobhan, and she runs a company called Shivers Designs. And she was making fascinators. And she's like, I need someone's head to put these fascinators on. And so we did a very like amateur photo shoot. This was in 2011. And that was sort of where it all started for me, because we did these really fun vintage style pin-up-y pictures. And I was like, oh, like I really like these. And I had just started getting tattooed at that time as well. And so I was just sort of like finding my confidence in my body again. And yeah, those pictures were kind of like, okay, this is something I want to do. And she's like, you should come and do the tattoo pinup pageant at the tattoo show. And so that's what I started doing. I started entering pageants, going to a lot of pageants, watching how they were done, watching what girls did. And I entered a pageant in 2012. It was called World of Wheels in Abbotsford, BC. And I won. And it was crazy. And yeah, it just sort of opened up doors. So every time I did something, another door opened, and I became a yes person and just said yes to every single opportunity I could. Did lots of volunteering, and you have to really promote yourself to
Mhm.
do well. And yeah, just sort of like pounded the pavement, put my name out there, promoted myself. Very grateful because I met lots of cool people that gave me opportunities. And yeah, I had a photo shoot with Pinup Perfection in 2012. And that kind of, it just opened up everything for me from there. So yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
And
And
you
actually, I should mention, sorry, I was going to mention 10 years ago when I started, my pinup name was different. I actually have a brand new pinup name. So my pinup name used to be Dixie Delight,
right.
and most people will still remember me as Dixie Delight. I also have a new hair color. I used to be a platinum blonde for 10 years and just recently went brunette. So it's kind of like a big year of change.
Okay. So
For me, and it's still
what was the reason of the change of the name?
So I decided after a few years of sort of humming and hawing about my name, I'm a Canadian pinup. So when I heard the name Dixie, and actually it came from, I had friends that picked my name. I did like a online Facebook, this is like early Facebook days too. I was like, what should my pinup name be? And a friend of mine came up with Dixie Delight, and it was sort of like two different names from the list that people had said, and he put it together, and I was like, that's it, that's me, I'm Dixie Delight. Like as soon as I thought of that word, I thought of ice cream cups and adorable southern pinups, but like in a very Canadian whitewashed way.
Right.
And I didn't have any connection to what Dixie actually could imply. And so on my journey and sort of coming into contact with some not so fun things, I decided finally that I needed to take ownership over my ignorance and what my name could do and what kind of harm it actually has and carries with it, especially because it has no significance to me besides being a made up name.
Right.
And so, yeah, I decided just to like take that gut feeling that I had sort of been wrestling with for a few years. And decided to take ownership that Dixie, when people think of it, they think of the South, they think of Confederate States.
Right.
And there's a huge dark history that goes along with that. And I didn't want to be a part of romanticizing that anymore. I'm super open about being on an anti-racist journey. It's something that I'm learning about every day and I take very seriously and I'm super passionate about, which is a little bit difficult in the pinup community sometimes, but most people know me because I've been around for a while, and thankfully they have given me space to speak about it, which is lovely, because the more spaces I get to speak about it, the more people can learn. And so yeah, so that's what I did. So that was back in when was that? I think that was May 2020. And then the Dixie Chicks came out and changed their name, and a bunch of other awesome people that I followed that we're sort of like finally, like it's kind of a silly thing. And as a white person, I laugh at us because it's kind of silly that it's taken us this long to really realize the impact of what we're doing. But yeah, it was kind of a cool validation. Like I was like, oh, I changed my name and now the Dixie Chicks changed their name. Like I felt like, oh, okay, like I'm on the right track, and I wasn't doing it to like, be popular or anything. It came from my heart. So I'm still growing into Goldie. This is my very first pageant with my new name, and I didn't even think about that until Dandy actually mentioned it. So yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Goldie definitely suits your personality. Like you just shine like gold. Like, so it definitely is a good change in there. So great, good for you. Now we're talking about the contest. Tell us about the contest that you're going to be involved in.
Yeah, so this is called the Miss Home Sweet Home 2021 Pinup Contest. It is a fundraiser, a relief fund of sorts, and it supports small businesses and charities from across America and Canada. I'm not sure if there's any international pinups further than that so far that have entered, but their registration is still open. So if you want to enter because it's still open and you still have a few weeks. I think the deadline for donations is March 14th. So yeah, so we're fundraising for as many things as possible, which is really cool because it's not just one thing that we're trying to do. And each pinup that enters is representing a business or a charity of their choosing. And as they're promoting the contest, they're also promoting this business or charity. And it's amazing. Like I think there's 24 right now that are entered. So that's 24 businesses and charities that are being supported so far. And I'm personally representing New World Designs in Vancouver, BC. I'm so excited to be representing New World. I wouldn't have the pinup career, if that's what you can call it, that I have without the support of New World Designs. They have supported me since the very, very beginning. The owner, Jen Kaboom, we used to compete in pageants locally together. It's so cool because, we say we're competing, but honestly, it's, to me, we're building friendships and it's really not a competition. And it's just a really beautiful way for me to just give back to her, promote her. 2020 COVID has been horrible for small businesses. She's one of the very last brick and mortar businesses left in Canada, pinup boutiques. And it's kind of a sad state. Like it's really sad and it's really scary to be seeing all of these businesses crumbling. And she is so determined to make this her year. And I just want to stand with her and help her also make this her year. And so, yeah, when I decided to enter this contest, I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, I want to represent your business. I want to put your name out there. And she's like, she loved it. She thinks it's a great idea. So I really hope that, especially out here on the West Coast, because so many of us shop at New World Designs, I really hope that we can get together as a group and get some donations flowing and spread the word that I'm doing this and really show Jen and New World Designs how much we love her.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And I personally haven't met Jen, but I hear she's such a lovely, lovely soul. And again, what you see on the internet, she seems so amazing. So sweet.
She's a lovely soul, and she's so funny, and she's so like real, like, and I love that like you go into her store and she will personally style you, you know, and she's kind of a celebrity in my eyes. So it's so cool that you can go to New World Designs and have, you know, the owner there helping you pick out the pieces to make you feel like your beautiful self. And it's an amazing experience, and everyone should go. She also has an online store too. She's really ramped up with her online, and her online website is so easy to remember. It's pinupcanada.com. So
Easy,
if you're
easy.
looking for stuff, yeah.
And we'll definitely put the links in with the podcast too for her
Awesome.
website. Now, you have been in so many pageants, even Viva. You actually
Yeah.
won Best Hair in Viva. So that's crazy. Can you just tell us a little bit of that experience?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I was like a baby pinup still when that was all happening. That was 5 years ago now, which is crazy to me that it was that long ago. 2015. So almost 6 years ago. Yeah. So it was a crazy experience. I went to Viva the year before in 2014 as a vacation with my husband. My son was really young still, and it was our first time like going away on a big vacation like that. And when I saw the pageant that year, I was like, next year I'm doing that. Like, I have to try and do that. And so, yeah, I put my name in the hat, and it's crazy. There's hundreds and hundreds of pinups from around the world that enter. And then it's, you have to get likes, which is so hard. And at that point, I had a very small following on Facebook compared to a lot of the girls that were in the competition. And I don't know, oh man, I drove everyone crazy trying to get likes, and miraculously pulled it off to make it into the top 6 for likes and to go through to the finals with I think it was the top 12 went through. So 6 were picked by a panel of judges, and then 6 were picked by most likes. And so I managed to do that, which was crazy. And yeah, and then getting there and finding out like now we're going to be in a documentary called Bombshells and Dollies. And not only were we going to be on the biggest pinup pageant stage in the world,
The Super
we're
Bowl
also
of
going to be
pinup.
doing this documentary. Yeah, like it was the most intense thing I have ever done in my whole life. And there have been times where I thought back on it and been like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'd ever do that to myself again. But it's been enough time now where I truly look back on that time and think like I grew so much from that experience. I learned so much about myself, so much about how much I can take and do, and the pressure. Like, it was an insane amount of pressure. And how I'm still in contact with all the girls that were in that contest this year. We're still friends. And that was just a beautiful thing to come out of it as well. But yeah, I mean, all the preparation, finding the perfect dress, and picking out how my hair was going to be. I was so lucky to have a really good friend of mine who happened to be at Viva at the same time. And she's from Ladner, and she runs Bobby Pin's Beauty Parlor. And she offered to do my hair for me for the show. So I'm a hairpiece queen, and we had like 3 hair pieces all in my hair, and she just built this immaculate sculpture of pin curls, and it was insane. Like, I was so proud that it won, and I was so ecstatic for her too, because it was another way. Like, I love promoting my friends, I love promoting people in the community, and making sure that they get their credit where credit's due. And yeah, I got, you know, the big giant trophy, and it's displayed in her beauty shop in Ladner. And I just love that. Like,
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how that all came to be. And you know, the documentary, it took a few years for it to be finalized and come out, but I'm quite pleased with how it all came together, and it's really neat. I don't think it's available in Canada
Still
quite
not yet.
but
No.
yeah,
We're waiting and waiting.
I was able to see it because they sent the girls that were in it, they sent us a private link, but yeah, we're not allowed to share it, which is sad. But yeah, if you're ever in the States and you get to see it.
Oh, that is so awesome. Good for you, hun. And you represent Canada very well. So, you know, you make your country very proud, hun. So now
Oh, thank you. So nice.
what knowing that you're doing pinup contests in person and now doing online, is this the first online contest have you done, or did you do it last year?
Yes, no, so it's my first Miss Home Sweet Home, but it's my second online contest.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's still kind of a fresh new thing.
Now, do you find, what are kind of the challenges doing pinup on doing a contest online compared to in person? Is there any challenges that you think?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the most beautiful part of doing a pageant is meeting everyone. It's that feeling of camaraderie. I've been producing pageants for many years as well, and one of the most important things we do is, huddle around all together in a circle, and we hype each other up right before, going on stage, and we put all our hands together in a circle and we shout "Pinup!" and
right.
actually
Check each other's teeth and
right, yeah, I know. I'm just like, I don't know how many girls check my teeth today. Yeah, and that, if you have a wardrobe malfunction, somebody's always there to help you. It really is such a beautiful thing. Thankfully, in the last contest I did, it was the United Pinup Festival, United Fest. And it was based in Australia and put on by Lulu Devine and Peachy Patra. And they did a beautiful job. And this one too, I watched it last year. I watched the Miss Home Sweet Home pageant, and it's put together beautifully. Like, it's a very seamless, like, it looks like a TV show when you're watching it. So it's very cool. It's not just like an Instagram live or a Facebook live sort of thing. It actually looks like a TV show. So yeah, so when I'm looking for an online pageant, I would definitely look for something that's very, professional looking. But yeah, I do miss that camaraderie. Thankfully, we do have the options of these secret groups. So we're all in the, pageant, and then we make like a secret group just for the girls, and we get to know each other. There's lots of talking and banter. And I've actually planned, I did it in the other pageant I was in too, I planned an informal meet and greet over Zoom. So all of us can get together in an informal setting like this and, visit and chat and have a drink and, get to know each other in sort of a more casual way, instead of it's the day of the show and we're, just all seeing each other live, right, for the first time. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, good for you. And good for you for taking that initiative too, to kind of bring everybody together and kind of shake the nerves, because it would probably be new for a lot of people. So it would probably be nice to kind of.
It is so nice. It's so nice to get to know each other on a more casual, and it's like dressing up is optional because like COVID motivation. I get it. Like, no, not everybody wants to get dressed up every day. I'm the type of girl that if I don't get dressed up every day, I don't feel like myself. But yeah, I mean, we had lots of fun Zooms in the last pageant. It was like a 3-month run, so we had lots of time to get to know each other, and it's really fun to just do that. And then yeah, you shake your nerves, and then the day of the show comes and you feel like, oh, this is my pinup sister, no big deal. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, is there any advice that you would give to anybody who wants to participate in their first pinup contest, or not really, wanting to take that leap but just not quite sure yet? Is there any advice that you would give?
Yeah, don't wait. There's no right time. There's no, like, if you're new, do it when you're new. Like, don't wait. That's the biggest advice I could give to anybody that's thinking about doing something, whether it's a photo shoot or a pinup pageant or anything. You want to go rock climbing. Don't wait. Go do it, because we are promised tomorrow. And as kind of downer as that is, it's the truth. And so you don't want to have regrets. I have always found pinup, especially, I mean, I'm a little bit biased. This is where I live. On the West Coast, I've always found pinups to be welcoming, inviting, encouraging, empowering. We're all looking for a sisterhood. So because we're all there looking for that, we want you to be a part of it. I love new pinups. So, you might be like, oh, everyone's so experienced, or they all know what they're doing. Most of us are faking it. It's the truth. I mean, you got to fake it to make it. I remember doing my first pinup shoot, my pinup photo shoot with Shimona at Pinup Perfection 10 years ago. And she's like, oh, you're a pinup model. I was like, oh, yeah, I am. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. But, you That's how you can gain confidence, is by, you just gotta like fake it a little bit and believe in yourself.
Own it.
And do it. Just do it.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Good for you. And I could imagine how much you could hype people up in behind the stage and everything. I know myself, I've tried to compete in a couple and I have such bad social anxiety. I don't do well. So to have you in the, I'd be like, oh my God, I'd be stuck to you like glue. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah. And it gives me so much joy to hype other people up. I have a friend recently who told me I'm like a one person hype. I don't know, one
You're a
person hype
cheerleading
club or whatever.
squad.
Yeah,
You're a whole squad in one
literally,
person.
yeah. And I really thought about that, and I was like, you know what, like that's what I want my legacy to be. Like, if that's what I leave behind, what more could I want? I want people that I come in contact with to feel good about themselves. So yeah.
Good for you. And that's what pinup should be about, right?
Totally. And that's what it's always been about. And as much as there might be, little discussions of drama and here and there, the core, the root of it is about hyping each other up and giving each other the space to shine. That's why we're here. We all want to shine. And I think that it's a beautiful place to do that. So yeah.
And like you said, it's a sisterhood. When you start meeting each other and backstage, you do end up becoming sisters, and it's that lifelong friendships then. So totally agree with you on that. Now, anything else that you want to add about the contest or anything before we go?
Sure. So Miss Home Sweet Home, it is a fundraiser, and I am fundraising. I actually am setting myself probably a kind of scary goal, but I decided that I'm going to set myself a goal of raising $1,000 on my own. We're trying to raise $10,000, so I need all the help I can get. And there is a PayPal group, it's like a PayPal group fund, where you can click on the link and you just put in your donation, and then you leave my name, Goldie Delight, and your contribution goes towards my it's a very key point. It goes towards my fundraising efforts, and it's the top 4 pinups that raise the most money automatically advance to the finals, and then the next 6 get picked by a panel of judges. So it's not a for like contest. It's based on how much money you can raise, and then also how the judges see you. So I don't really want to leave it up to just the judges. And I've been working pretty hard to get donations, but it's tough. It's a tough time. It's not been easy on most people. And so it's a little bit tricky asking for money. It's not the most comfortable thing to do. But I'm here and I'm doing it, and I've raised just over $370 so far, which I'm pretty proud of.
That's awesome.
And so I'd really like everyone's help to help me do that. So
and we still got a couple more weeks.
Yeah, there's still a couple more weeks.
Perfect. Now, do you have your outfit picked out for the event?
I do not. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's one of those things like, do I go super glam? Do I go like regular? Like it's one of those things. So I haven't decided. I have been slowly collecting things and looking at things, but yeah, I haven't decided. It'll be one of those like, if my name gets called, then the pressure will be on and I will pick.
Right. Oh, goodness. Well, Goldie, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. You've been such a pleasure to talk with, and I can't wait to see how everything goes on the 20th. We wish you all the luck. And again, I'll put all the links on the bottom there, and everybody can just click on it and make sure that you put Goldie Delight in there. And hopefully we'll get you in there.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.
It was so lovely to meet you, and hopefully we can meet in sooner than later in person.
Yeah, I know. One day.
Okay, love. Well, you take care of yourself. You have a great day and be safe.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Okay, take care, hon. But thank you so much for joining us today. Dandy Delish, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm not too bad. So, business owner, international cover model, pageant queen. Is there anything you can't do?
I can't do math.
Awesome. So, just really tell us, how did you become Dandy Delish? What was the journey?
Well, I guess 2015, I saw an ad in the local newspaper and they were looking for pinup girls for a pageant. And I didn't really know what a pinup pageant was. I'd always been into vintage, loved vintage fashion, but I did not know what a pinup pageant was. So got out the Google machine and checked it out. And I just, it was just, wow. I was floored by the fact that women were dressing up like this just always and going about their lives the way that I would love to dress every day. And competing in pageants and being crowned queen for doing what they love. So I entered the pageant and it was the most incredible experience. I made so many friends that I'm still friends with now, and each pageant that I've entered since then, it's just the same thing. It's just friends on friends and meeting so many people from around the world. I just love it. I fell in love instantly and I have never looked back.
Nice, nice. Love it, love it. So speaking of contests, you actually have a big contest coming up, don't you? So
Yes.
tell us all about it.
That is hosted by Millie Rose Mitchell, the Miss Home Sweet Home pageant. It's international. It will be online. This is the second time I'll be entering this pageant. I did it last year and I came in third.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a charity pageant or fundraising pageant. You can represent a charity or a business that's been affected by COVID. And so far, I think there may be about 15 girls, but they're still accepting entries for the next month. And last year there were thousands of dollars raised for multiple charities and businesses, and it's just been amazing. I'm so happy to be a part of it again.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And who are you fundraising for?
I am fundraising for a Home for Hooves farm sanctuary, and they're located in Duncan, BC.
Okay.
They take in farm animals, so a lot of rescues do dogs and cats, rabbits, that type of thing. This is a sanctuary for farm animals, so goats, chickens, pigs, horses, anything that may have been abused, abandoned, fallen off a truck on the way to slaughter. Those types of animals that have nowhere else to go, they are taken into this sanctuary and they're pets. They just live out their days either at this farm. They also have a fostering program, so they could go through a foster to be adopted, but it's just incredible. And it's the only, what is it now, government recognized affiliated charity like this in Canada.
Oh, great, great. That's amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Now, out of curiosity, do you find any struggles doing an online contest compared to doing a live contest?
Not really.
Do you find it easier?
Different, not easier, not harder, just different. I really love feeding off the crowd and the energy from the other girls. So
Right.
being at home in my living room by myself, you know, maybe I'm not even wearing pants right now, who knows. Those things are different. So you don't have the big energy of everybody all around you and that excitement and adrenaline.
Right,
But
right.
there's still adrenaline because I could mess up what I'm saying, like telling you I may not be wearing pants. So there's still always pressure, but it's lots of fun. I think the only issue would be the technology. That's the thing that can get glitchy, or if you maybe are not really aware of what you're doing with the technology. But with this pageant, it's been really incredible. They have amazing behind the scenes production team. So there's a lot of run throughs before the show, kind of all the bugs. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And it's a live stream too, isn't it? So we can all just kind of log in and see and watch actually the pageant, can't we?
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
all
amazing. That's amazing. We'll definitely make sure that we put the links for your fundraising page, and we'll put the links for that so we can watch you.
Thank
We're
you.
super excited. Now, do you have any advice that you would give to anybody who would like to start doing pinup pageants?
to just do it. Don't put it off. Don't wait, because we are not promised any time at all in this life. So if there's something you want to do, just do it. And if it's scary, do it fast, because it's just so worth it. So worth it. Just jump in. The girls that you'll meet will help you. We all started with our first pageant at some point. And honestly, it's so incredibly amazing to be welcomed into the community and to have so many women that you look up to help you along the way. It's so great. I can't say enough good things about pinup pageants and just pinup in general.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, is there a pinup pageant that you haven't done that's kind of on your bucket list that you really want to do?
I would love to do some pageants in Australia and New Zealand. I would
They've got a
love.
huge,
I
huge
know.
following down there. Holy Hannah. It's like the US down there.
It's amazing. I want to go so badly, so badly. I want to go anywhere at this point, but but definitely Australia and New Zealand. I would love to check that out.
Nice, nice. Now, do you guys, I know BC kind of is doing much better than Ontario is right now. Do you guys have any shows, like any car shows coming up kind of in the works, or is everybody just kind of just waiting to see how things go right now?
If it's anything like last summer, we weren't allowed to have any events at all. The last pageant and car show was the pageant that I produced in September 2019. That's the last thing,
Wow.
because winters are rainy. Nobody has any car shows or pageants throughout the winter. But yeah, everything was canceled last year, and it's kind of looking like that will be the same for this year. No events at all. We're not allowed to have any more than, right now, it's any more than 6 people, and you're supposed to all be in the same household. So if that doesn't change, there won't be anything this year either.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that Alberta, they've got one for May, I think, coming up. So, but other than that, I haven't seen or heard anything outside. Where same here in Ontario, we can't plan anything. So,
It's been strict, but I mean, I understand we've got to be safe. So I would
absolutely.
rather be healthy than be at a car show.
Absolutely,
Fine.
absolutely. Well, and again, thank you to Millie for like putting on these online events. It's definitely probably got to be super hard to coordinate and everything else. But like you said, it sounds like they got it down pat, and I'm really super excited to see how it goes. It's a little bit of normalcy online, but it'll be really cool to see kind of how this all goes. So
Yeah.
I wish you all the luck, Dandy. I can't wait to see how it goes. And take care, hun, and be safe.
Thanks, you too.
So much for joining us today. And with us, we have Miss Ruby Bluez. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks. And look at you, just in the tropics in these little cold days.
I just threw on something old, the boys are sleeping, so I got some downtime, so I jumped in the tub.
Love it. My goodness, I wish my bathroom looked like that.
It's my son's. He has no idea what I've done. He'll get mad. I put a nice plant.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Absolutely. I love the radio too. That's great.
Just in case. It's cordless though, cordless.
Of course. Safety first, right?
Okay.
Now tell us about your journey. How did you become Sweet Ruby Bluez?
I was formerly at Ruby Sweet Tea, and after I call it a series of unfortunate events, I needed to enter the decade of mourning, but I'm not a really sad person. So I just dyed my hair blue, and I got the blue, Sweet Ruby Bluez.
Love it, love it. Now, how did your pinup journey kind of begin?
I was working at a gym doing the 5 a.m. shift, trying to stay awake, and all of a sudden I saw like a beacon in the horizon. It said sale, and I'm like, sale? I will go there after work. And it was a vintage store. I kid you not. I went in there and I just saw magic. I put on my first pinup dress, and I had to get it, but they were having a sale the next day, and she held it for me. This beautiful vintage dress that I've never fit into, but I will one day. And yeah, it still hangs in my closet. That's how I got started.
Oh, that's great. Now you are also a contestant or fighting to be a contestant into the Miss Home Sweet Home 2021.
Yes, yes. It's the
Yay.
only online pinup contest I feel like I haven't done.
So yeah, yes, you were saying that you've done quite a few of online contests and in person. Now, what do you find the difference between doing online and in person? Like, do you find there's some kind of barriers or obstacles doing the online?
The major obstacle online I find is just authenticity and being able to like cheer each other on from the side. Like backstage is like so much fun. You get the adrenaline. You're like, did you see me fall? No. Did you see me throw up? And you did. What? You don't get that when it's online. It's like, here's my picture, fall in love with me. But online, you can do, I mean, in person, you can do whatever. You can say whatever. You can feed off the crowd, the judges. You know if they're liking you. They know if they don't. So if there's that challenge, it's just, I want to say monetary, but that's where Jo's pageant is different. It's live,
Which is
not
amazing.
so now I'm like, who's gonna help me if I get sick? Nobody.
Right? Your 3-year-old's trying to get the little button fixed for you.
Yeah, so I'm nervous about that because in person it's just so easy to feed off the energy, and at home you're dependent upon getting yourself all jazzed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's been pretty consistent with all the girls that I've chatted with too, that you miss that kind of camaraderie. You kind of you come together even though it's a contest and you're competing against each other, but you're all kind of backstage kind of helping each other out and supporting each other. So you kind of go in as strangers, but you kind of come out as sisters.
Yeah, and like forever sisters. Like the last contest I did, I flew into Winnipeg, and those girls, like, I can't see them. It's like torture. It's like, oh, okay, you're still there somewhere in virtual land. Like you miss the girls that you met, and it's just kind of depressing. So you gotta take part of it. You always gotta throw your tiara when take tiara in and hope for the best.
I love it. I love it. Now, it's been great too. I hear that the girls have kind of really, been sort of supporting each other throughout the group, but you guys have been doing kind of like Zoom chats and you kind of trying to kind of get to know each other and support each other outside of the contest. So that's really great to hear.
Yeah, we're making the effort. The effort's there.
Absolutely, love it, love it. Now, going back to the contest, who are you fundraising for this year?
I'm fundraising for Made by Momma, from YYC, so that's in Calgary. And for me, they're very important because they supply to young mothers, especially mothers that are in emergency kind of situations. They fed me for the first month that my son was born because he was a 3-pound premature cyclone. So it's a chance to pay them back. Say thank you. Hey, I know I'm here because everything's virtual now. How do they get support and love? So I'm here to say, I recognize you. I still love you.
And it's nice too that not only is this fundraising going towards like the small business funds kind of thing, but also you're giving the businesses so much reach, that people wouldn't have known about the organizations or businesses that you guys have been representing. So even just having that reach for them is definitely probably helped them out.
Well, it's an international pageant. It's kind of big. I think we're only in the US and Canada, but it's open to everybody. I don't know if there's any Australians there.
Not yet. I know one girl had mentioned from Belgium, so fingers crossed that maybe she may pop in there too. So there's still, I
Yeah,
think, another week
we're
to
okay going.
register. Right?
Where are we? I think it's Friday, right, at noon?
I think March 14th. March 14th is the deadline.
By noon or
So,
something.
yep, by noon.
It's one giant day to me. They'll just let me know.
Now, if you end up being in the top 10, do you have a outfit picked out for yourself?
I have an outfit picked out, but I'm gonna have to custom it a bit, so it's gonna take a lot of sewing. I think there's time from the time they make the announcements to the time you have to make an appearance. My husband won't be happy about that, but Gotta be
It's what we got to do. It's the
what we
life of
have
the
to
pinup.
do. The life of the pinup and the housewife. He doesn't get it. He doesn't
Right?
understand what he signed up for.
Now, is there any advice that you would give give someone that wants to enter their first pinup contest, be it online or in person? What advice would you give if they just can't quite take that jump?
Just do it. The girls will help you. Like, we'll push you over the edge if you're not ready. Just put your toes in and we'll be like, toot, 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 and then you'll never like look back. Promise. It's a good thing. I should know. I've done it.
That's great, hon. Well, thank you so, so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time and, putting the effort into getting all ready for us and everything. It was such a pleasure to meet you. We wish you all the luck, and we can't wait to see all the online event and how everything goes.
Me too. Last year was awesome. It's going to be amazing no matter who's in the top 10. So make sure everybody watches.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch. I can't wait. Well, you take care, hun, and you be safe.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye, love. And joining us from Alberta, representing, is Miss Lady Gray. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. And especially in these crazy times, it's great that we have this Zoom that we can actually just kind of meet each other and do this.
I agree. It's been great. It's kind of been a savior having Zoom and being able to connect with everybody, all my friends, and that being isolated is not my cup of tea.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now tell us about, tell us all about you, your journey, and how you became Lady Gray.
Okay. Well, I've always been into the retro, and I used to be over 300 pounds, and I lost a lot of weight. And when I was overweight, I even dressed in retro clothes because they're so flattering to any body style or anything like that. And I'm really into that. So I dressed in that, and then I lost a whole bunch of weight, and I started working at a store called Rowena's in Edmonton here. It's been in business for 22 years. Unfortunately, it went out of business at the end of 2020. And I was working there, and I was really sad. I loved working there because it was a really exciting place to work. People would come in and they would have expectation. Like I had a lot of people come in, oh, I'm just too old for this stuff. I'm just too overweight for this stuff. I'm just too this. And I'd love to dress them. Like I spend like 3 or 4 hours with them, and they'd go out with outfits and they feel so good about themselves. And that's what I really like about the retro, the whole community. It doesn't matter what you look like or anything like that. They makes you feel beautiful, and everybody's accepted. And that's the really important part. Plus, we also restore cars here. We have our own collection of old classic cars. So we do all the restoring and our acreage here. And and I get into it too. I'm really good at grinding and body work, and I do all the upholstery for our cars. So it kind of was a real good mesh. But I think most importantly, it was really inspiring for me to see how the change in women when they come in and they get into the outfits and they feel so beautiful, and it doesn't matter, and they really embrace the whole retro idea and everything like that. And then so Rowena's closed, and I was really upset about it. And so I opened my own little online store. So I sell stuff to people, and I have had a few clients come in, masking up and everything. And it's been wonderful. So I get to do the same thing, but on a more personal level. And I just love it, right? They're just like, oh, I'm so excited, and I'm so happy that you're here, and that kind of stuff. And we're going to go and do car shows because I'm going to get a little van and have Lady Gray Retro on it, and we're going to do car shows and sell women's stuff, because at car shows there's only men's stuff, not women's stuff, right? So I'm going to try and do that this summer if they open up the car shows. So I just really like how the retro inspires everybody to get the most out of themselves, and that's, it's a very elegant style, and it looks great on everybody. So
Absolutely. Sounds like you had such an amazing journey and way to kind of, develop something into your own, and now entrepreneur.
Well, I am, and I also am older, so I like to inspire people my age to like I'm over 60, so I'd like to inspire people my age to go and do what they want to do. Don't let, you know, bad knee or anything like that, you know, keep you down. Go and do what you want to do, because I was an executive assistant for many, many years, like for 30 years, and I was very in suits and stuff like that. And now I'm retired, I can go and be who I want to be and just fun loving and just have a really good time. So, you know, just live who I am and who I really want to be, and try to inspire other people to do the same thing, right? So I mean, it sounds corny, but it really is who I am and that kind of thing. So, and I got lots of nice girlfriends around here that are into the same thing. So we all kind of do it together. So
Oh,
you got to
that's
get out there and live, man.
absolutely. Now you have a big event coming up online. You have Miss Home Sweet Home.
Yes, yes.
So
I'm very excited. This is my first pinup contest, first virtual pinup contest.
first,
I
the
have a
first, the
lot.
first.
I know. Well, we go down to Viva Las Vegas every year, and I'm already preparing my wardrobe for Viva Las Vegas in September. Hopefully the borders will be open and we can drive down. So, because we can't fly because I take too much luggage, so we have to drive down. Well, I do. You have to have 2 or 3 outfits a day, right? That's how it goes at Viva.
I
So,
hear.
I know, it's fabulous, right? And I've met a lot of pinups at Viva, and we've connected, and a lot of pinups have been in the Home Sweet Home. Last year, Cupcake Calamity, one of my friends from Tracy, California, was in it, and I have lots of friends that do this stuff, and I just thought, well, I'll just try this one, and I was encouraged to go for it, and so I put my name in it, and we are just doing our thing, right? And I'm meeting lots of new people, plus my usual friends are very supportive. So yeah, and I'm really excited to see what happened. Not just for myself, I don't expect to be in the finalists or anything like that, but I'm really excited about tuning in for the Zoom conference on the 20th of March to see the whole event. I've got a girlfriend coming over for a viewing party, and we're going to have some drinks and stuff like that, right? So that's
Awesome.
why I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really super excited to tune in and watch you guys too. So we're definitely got our calendar set too. So now tell us about the organization that you're going to be fundraising for.
Okay, well, I don't know whether you know this, but I'm a real animal lover. I mean, we are real animal lovers. My husband even takes the mice out of the house when the cat gets them so he can release them back into the wild, right? So we love animals. And we're sponsoring a non-for-profit called Infinite Woofs. And it's a non-for-profit organization that sponsors, rescues small dogs, cats, and small animals, but they don't put them into kennels. They foster them into home, and then they find good homes for them down the road. And we've been involved in them for a number of years, though none of our cats right now are from them, but we buy kennels, the traveling kennels and food and all that kind of stuff, and then give it to them because they get a lot of different requests at different times of the year. Like right now it's kitten time, right? Cats are having kittens and puppies and stuff. Dogs are having puppies and that. So we tend to give a lot of hard quality stuff like kennels and food and that kind of stuff, beds to them. And they do a lot of good work, but they're just a really small organization. And I really like it because they foster in homes as opposed to in a kennel. So you get to see the real personality of the animal that you're adopting before, because in a home environment the animals tend to be more themselves, as opposed to in a kennel they tend to be really flat. So we love it, and we continue to do that, and we will continue to do that forever, and that kind of thing. So it's a great organization, and it's very small, and it doesn't get a lot of funding, but we're hoping that through this they'll get a bit more funding, and of course we'll continue to sponsor them. So
Well, and also, which has been great with this contest too, is just actually getting the businesses and organizations names out there where
Yeah.
you know some of us wouldn't have even known about it or anything like that. And it's just kind of really just free promotion for them, and
Yeah,
hoping to.
yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't think we didn't know about them till about 5 years ago, and they had rescued a group of kittens or something, and my husband happened to see it on Facebook, and we inquired about them, and of course we sent them money to support them, and then we just got kind of into the whole thing. And you're right, a lot of the small organizations like Infinite Woofs, they don't have the big campaigns for advertising. They're just like Michelle, who's the person that we usually deal with. She's like one person, and she comes and picks up the kennels and stuff like that. And I know they have other people there, but it's kind of a smaller organization as opposed to the Humane Society, which does great work too, but they don't get the same kind of publicity as the Humane Society or the SPCA or that kind of thing, right? So
Exactly.
it's nice that a lot of these non-for-profits are getting, and they've had a really hard time this last year because all the non-for-profits have had a very difficult time trying to keep up with abandoned pets and everything. The funding just hasn't been there, and you know, people have been really isolated from other people. So I'm really proud to be able to sponsor them and you know, encourage people to get to know that organization and you know, maybe contribute, and even time, you know what I mean, like just contribute time or foster, or you know, they always need foster parents and things like that. So
Oh, sounds
yeah.
great. And we'll
I
also
can't
include.
foster
Sorry,
I
you can't.
can't foster because I already have 6 cats. So
You're at your limit.
I'm over my limit. I'm called the crazy cat lady here because I had 8, but unfortunately 2 passed away last year. So I'm at my limit. So
Oh goodness. Now, has
yeah.
there been any challenges, you know, especially with it being your first pinup contest? Have you kind of encountered any challenges so far? Have you kind of prepared for this?
Well, I've prepared for it in that I've really hydrated. No, I'm just kidding. I've really hydrated my skin. It's been really cold up here and it's been really dry. That's my challenge, to keep my skin hydrated.
Right.
I'm just joking around. I really haven't had that many challenges, to tell you the truth. I'm really easygoing, and the organization, Jo MaKay, is so wonderful, and it's been so easy to get things done, registered, and truthfully, I've loved it because I've met so many other Canadian pinups, which I never knew we had such a great pinup community in Canada. I know in the States they have tons of, like, you know, different communities, and in Tracy, California, where Cupcake Calamity is, they have the Victory Bombers, and they support the armed forces there, and other places they have the same kind of thing. But up here, I didn't realize that we had such a great pinup community, and that's been really fun for me. So I haven't really had that many challenges, other than I really like to get dressed up. So it's been really fun to be able to do that. I'm out of sweat now.
Now, do you have your outfit already picked out? You know, fingers crossed we're going to be live on the 20th. Do you have an outfit picked out if it's going to happen?
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going flamingo.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I have flamingo tattoo, and I just got my first tattoo last year, and it's a flamingo, and it's on the back of my neck. So I've got my outfit picked out, and I am all ready for it, and it's all up there steamed, and the shoes and the stockings and the hair pieces and everything. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
And I'm going to wear it even if I don't get chosen, because I'm having a little party here.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
sure.
wear it regardless. That's the night.
I'm wearing it regardless. I'm going to sit in my living room if I don't get chosen, and I'm going to watch it in my flamingo dress with my girlfriends, and I'm going to have martinis.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, do you have any advice to give to anyone who wants to try and take that leap for their first pinup contest, but scared to?
My advice would be, do it. And I always live by the adage of jump from the frying pan into the fire, because if you don't live, like last year, nobody lived. So we wasted a whole year. And when you get older, those years become pretty precious, right? I would say that people should just do what they want to do. And this is a wonderful, confident body image, wonderful body image and everything. People are so supportive, and I think that you should just go for it. Any kind of pinup contest, but especially the home sweet home. You know? Yeah, I think it's really easy. It's really easy to do. Yeah, so that would be my encouragement. Just do what you want to do, and don't let anybody keep you back.
And I think too, with pinup contests, I think we're kind of different in a way in the community that when it's, even though it's a contest, we support each other so much during the contest that it's not like we're competing against each other, but we're not. We're fixing each other's hair, or we're, like, oh, you got lipstick here and lipstick checks and everything else. So, and really by the end of it, you go in all strangers and you come out all sisters,
Well, I think that the pinup community in general as a whole, whether you're meeting by Zoom or you're in a real live environment standing beside somebody, they are super encouraging. Like, I know when I go to Viva, I mean, I don't enter the pinup contests or anything like that, but I always have them say, oh, you look beautiful, you look wonderful. They're super encouraging. They will, everybody, I haven't never met anybody that has been negative to me. I'm telling you, and that is the truth. And I've gone to a lot of car events and rockabilly and all kinds of stuff, and nobody has ever been negative to me. And you're right. I think that we all come out as sisters. We're all wanting to look beautiful. We want other people to feel beautiful and look beautiful and feel confident with themselves, right? And I really, it's not cutthroat. It's not like a beauty pageant where, people are trying to down you or anything like that. There is none of that I have seen ever in any of the contests or just walking around at an event or anything. People are super encouraging. They are always there to help out. The pinups are always there to help out. They don't just stand there and look pretty. They also do stuff in the background, like they're organizing events or they're organizing charities for events, events for charities and stuff like that. So I would encourage everybody to try it at least once, because you'll probably get hooked. And you'll probably, really look at me. I'm older and I'm in, and, I'm competing against all these beautiful young women, and I feel great. So yeah, you're right. There is I have never seen any competition as, they say it's a competition, but it really isn't. It's really just a sorority getting together and having a good time.
Exactly.
It really is a sorority, right? And it's like we'll always support each other for as long as we're in it together, right? As long as we can get together. So it's more like a sorority as opposed to a contest, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. I know there's girls that I met 3 years ago when I did a couple contests, and still very close with them to this day. And I consider them closer than to some family. So
well, yeah. And I'm the same way. I've never met my friend Devin at Cupcake Calamity. I've never met her, but we talk all the time. And Scarlett DeVille, she's on the East Coast. And then I've met Goldie Delight, and they're wonderful, right? And Victory Violet and stuff like that. But I've never met them in person, but I talk to them and get advice and things like that, or just encourage them in what they're doing as well, right? Like I've tried to every contestant, I've tried to, talk to them through Messenger and that, and wish them good luck and, and that kind of thing, because I think it's important for people to have a good time and be kind to people, right? I think it's really important that there's more kindness and that's what I really like about the retro and the rockabilly and vintage and that kind of thing. People seem to be more kind and not so critical and that kind of thing, right? So, and I try not to be critical of people. It's not a good way to live your life, I guess. But yeah, we're more sorority sisters than we are contestants. I don't think there's really a competition here.
Absolutely. And good for you for kind of, taking that initiative and reaching out via Messenger, because again, it's not something you can kind of all chat around backstage or anything like
No.
that, or hours before. So
Yeah.
good for you for just kind of like, hey, how's it going? Just want to reach out.
Yeah,
So, and
yeah.
the group is amazing too. Like I got to say, I love being in the group, even though I'm not participating, but you guys are so great. You guys are just all like chatting each other up and,
Yeah.
with the pictures and stuff, it really honestly, again, it's
Yeah.
very heartwarming to see. So
Yeah.
I feel very lucky that I've been able to kind of use our platform to showcase you Canadians and your charities and everything else to kind of help
Yeah.
help you guys through. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time and having a chat with us. Is there anything else that you want to add or anything like that before we say our goodbyes?
Oh, sure. I'm going to go say, go girls. We're all together here. Good luck, everybody. And I'm sure we'll all look beautiful. Thank you.
A huge thank you to our guests for taking the time to have a chat with us today, and we wish them all the best and good luck on hopefully we see them on March 20th on the online event for Miss Home Sweet Home 2021. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you next week. Be safe and take care.